And we are live. All right, I'm gonna turn down my lighting here. Give 1 second. All right, that'll be way better. Also, I need a chair with wheels. That is my next priority. All right, guys, I'm live. Finally, I set up um a live stream. I got two things going on here. I used to stream off my phone all the time and set it up from mobile. And so I set it up that way so I can give you guys a heads up, a couple minutes before I actually went live. And then I wanted to do it from my computer, and it didn't allow me. But technical difficulties out of the way, and it looks like the audio is working. And I have somebody in here, Western Mass. What's up, broski? I don't think all your chats disappeared. This is actually a different stream than the other one. This is like the Sunday. I renamed it. This is like the Sunday Night Live. It's actually the third Sunday in a row I've gone live, and I want to keep that a thing. So if you can hear me, just let me know. So I'm assured. Also, I seen that AJ is going to be going live in like 30 minutes or something. So this one will probably be kind of shorter. I have some family obligations tonight. So Spartacus must have Sharticus his pants. Not quite. Not quite. I have before as an adult. That's a story for another day. Maybe one day I'll share that story. Years from now, when no one even knows what Spartacus is, that'll be like a trivia question. What was MMA Jackal's original YouTube name? And Western Mass will be in there like, oh, Spartacus. Yeah, dude. It was it's a whole story. When there's more people in here, if there's enough demand for it, I'll share the story on how I shat my pants as an adult. Good stuff. So what's up, bro? You watched that boxing match last night? Obviously, I don't follow boxing as closely as I follow MMA, but I do know that guys who are -5 or plus 500 underdogs, it's not that uncommon for them to win. And I was this close to putting a bet on Ryan Garcia just for the hell of it. And I'm like, nah, if I do that, Haney will knock him out in the second round. And sure enough, it was actually a good fight. It was worth watching. I bet the under 10.5, which should have came through but didn't because the ref was like clearly trying to save Devin Haney. I mean, it was ridiculous. Haney shot a double leg on the guy. And Ryan was getting frustrated, so on the break, he like popped him, and the ref automatically took a point from Ryan Garcia. Like automatically. And he absolutely could have took a point from Devin Haney for all the clinching. I mean, Haney was on skates. He was stumbling all around the ring, but Ryan didn't have that. I bet you if Ryan actually trained and, wasn't drinking beer every night like he says he was, he would have had the gas tank to put him out. But it was a clear win for Garcia. The dude's obviously going through some I don't know if it's what it is, if he's on drugs or just like a mental health crisis, or he just needs to get away from Oscar De La Hoya. But the guy is clearly, I mean, if you see interviews with him from, even like a year and a half ago, a year ago, he's like a regular normal guy, and now he's just he's twacked out. Yeah, it's not super uncommon. You see boxers like they'll come in for the clinch, and the one guy will like put his arm around the guy's neck. You know, it's not like he's really trying to trying to um choke him, but it's so weird because boxers will like they'll tangle up and start to grapple, but then both pretend like they're not doing it. So they're like pushing their bodies up against each other, trying to make it look like the other guy is holding their arm. It's so fucking awkward. Johnny boy, what's going on, bro? The dong of John is in the chat. John Dong, my wife's favorite live stream guest. Her favorite fighter is Song Yadong because she thinks his name's funny. She has a mature sense of humor. No, I did not. Is that a foreign movie with subtitles? Who's fighting next weekend? Dude, you got to go to AJ's live for that. Perez and somebody else. I mean, I'm going to watch all the fights, but I didn't do like any research or anything like that. It's a Korean horror movie. So I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, dude, there's some like awesome horror movie we got to watch. And I don't know, she's against movies with subtitles. I'm like, you need some culture in your life. I even wrote it down in my notebook and made a note of it. Maybe I'll try to get her to watch it tonight. I've been gone since I got up this morning. I just got home, and then as soon as I walked in the door, I'm like, I have to go live. And then I've been trying to go live for 40 fucking minutes. So we'll do this for like 45 minutes, and then maybe I'll go watch some Korean horror movie. Yeah, I don't mind subtitles at all. It's like after 5 minutes or so, you don't even realize you're reading what they're saying, you know? Yeah, we have a flyweight main event. I want to bring up like one thing like when I do my live chats, I want to bring up like a Tapology page, you know? So just so I can like look at it real quick and and reference it. So I'm gonna bring that up in a new tab here. What is it? Vegas 91? Not that it even matters because I don't know anything about these fighters coming up. We'll do. So Oh, Ryan Spann's on the card. Yeah, like I said, I gotta open up. Is that what it is next week? Is that Vegas 91? I'm gonna bring it up here on Tapology. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Entertain yourselves while you stare at me. Mateus Nicolau versus Alex Perez. Ryan Spann. Wow, Alex Perez is the main event next week. It's 24-8. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was just bringing that up. I usually bring it up on my phone. Mateus Nicolau, Ryan Spann. Oh, some sweet women's flyweight fights we can talk about. Austin Lane, David Onama. Tim Means is on the main card. I mean, it's certainly not a stacked event, that's for sure. But then 301's May 4th, so that's awesome. Let's look at that. We got Pantoja versus Urseg, which Jose Aldo's the main event. Dude, I am a terrible UFC YouTuber. I didn't even know Jose Aldo was fighting on 301. Actually, I did know that. I just forgot it. But that's pretty cool. Anthony Smith still giving it a go. Michelle Pereira against Muradov. 301 is a nice card. Kyle Barrios fighting Paul Craig. Sign me up for that. Hell yeah. Jack Shore's on the card. Elves Brenner. 301 is going to be nice. That's that card in Brazil. Next week, whatever is what it is. We'll see. Sometimes it's the completely unassuming fight nights that you have no expectations for that turn out to be bangers, you know? Also, to my guys in the chat here, how does the audio sound? Is it too loud, too quiet, just right? You tell me. I don't have any headphones in, so I can't really hear it. I have my adjustment knob on my microphone got knocked, so I'll leave it if it's just right. Caveat is a horror movie? No. I think it's an Irish movie. It's in English. Second scariest horror movie. I think your wife would like it if she likes horror mystery. All right, there we go. Caveat. That's what. Do you know um what platform it's on? CAVEAT. Yeah, because when I was going live, she gave me the. Well, I'm not even going to be around when you're done. I got stuff to do tonight. Okay, I'm sorry. Shutter? How the fuck am I going to find that? What the hell is Shutter? That is like the one streaming app I don't have. Dude, I have every. You guys realize like how much money we probably spend in subscription shit that we have no idea we're even subscribed to or don't use? Like I have every Hulu and fucking everything you could imagine. And there's no time to watch any of it. I was just hanging with the boys earlier today and they were all talking about shows they watch. I'm like, when the fuck do you guys find time to watch shows? I just don't have time. They were talking about, I don't know if you guys are into video games. I'm not, but they were talking about Fallout, which I guess it's a show now, but it's based on a video game that was based on some other show. But if that's up your alley, my buddy said it's fucking awesome. They watch it all the time, or they've been watching it. Brandy is here. Where's Brandy? Brandy is here. Hello, what is up? Eric is not here yet. I just had to call him because I tried to go live and I couldn't. And once again, Eric saved the day and figured out what was wrong. And here we are. Eric's such an awesome dude. And today's his birthday. So when he gets in here, we're all going to sing happy birthday to him. Do any of you guys have Tim Hortons where you are? I know it's a Canadian thing, but I live in Buffalo, which is like pretty much Canada. And we have Tim Hortons, and it's the fucking shit. And I don't drink it very often, but I'm drinking it tonight. So, yesterday I put out a video about what is next for Max. And if you didn't see it, clearly, in my opinion, I think it's clear as day. If I'm Max Holloway, I'm going for that Ilya Taporia fight. I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect. And how about this? Even if he doesn't win, say Max goes to fight Taporia but doesn't win, and Conor McGregor loses to Michael Chandler, how about we set up a Max Holloway Conor McGregor fight? And they could even put, I don't know if people would buy it at that point, but they could put the BMF title on the line. I don't really know how they're going to work that. Like, you can't incorporate the BMF title with the lineal championship because then it just takes away all the, it makes the BMF title even less meaningful than it already is. But like I said, I think it is absolutely clear as day. Max Holloway goes back down to 145. He said in his own words that his win against Jose Aldo to become the undisputed champion at 145 pounds was the biggest win of his life. And this is moments after having arguably the most iconic moment in the history of the sport. So in that moment right then, if he says, "Oh yeah, that win against Jose Aldo years ago in Rio was the most important to me," then I think it's clear he puts much more weight into being the undisputed champion than he does his legacy. It might be better for his legacy to stay at 155 and whatever, go give Islam a good fight, maybe beat Islam, probably not, but or Islam is out. He can't fight for some reason. He's hurt, and he fights for an interim belt, and he's this two division weight champion. Even if he does beat Islam, I don't think that it means any more to him being a two weight class champion or anything like that. Like, it doesn't seem like his legacy is, he cares about that stuff. He just wants to be the champ. And I think this fight with Ilya Topuria is on a platter. Max Holloway is a fan favorite. We all love him. I mean, I've always loved him, but if guys didn't, they were like, Justin Gaethje's going to knock him out. They really didn't care one way or another. After last week, they absolutely love him now. So everybody loves Max. Everybody hates Topuria. But Topuria has this huge fan base in Spain where he's, hanging out with dudes from Real Madrid, and he's on the cover of magazines and everything else. So here they have these two worlds colliding. They can enter into a new, a new arena, an untapped resource in Spain, and have this super fight between Max and Ilya Topuria. I think it's, like I said in my video, it's like a match made in UFC heaven. It seems so clear. I know he looked good at 145 or at 155, but personally for me, I think the move is clear. Eric's not here. No, Eric is not here yet. You got him does he know you got him a birthday? What kind of birthday cake? Does he like anything in particular? Nova, what's up, my bro? He is in Detroit, and he is a Timmy Ho. Yeah, dude. Timmy will turn you out and make you a hoe real quick. They put crack in that coffee. Have you ever had it, though, John? Western Masses. Any Canadian I know says Tim Hortons is rubbish, but I wouldn't know. No Tims around here. You know Canadians who say that Tim Hortons is rubbish? What do they drink then? I don't know anyone who has Tim Hortons around them and drinks fucking Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or anything. It's not that great. Like, it's not like, I'm not a coffee snob. Like, I really don't know my fucking coffees. But I don't know. It's like a huge thing around here. Like, there's Dunkin' Donuts don't really do good. We have a bunch of Starbucks around for, like, the high-class soccer moms that want to feel fancy. But besides that, everyone does Tim Hortons. It's just like a thing. Like I said, Buffalo's pretty much Canada. There's like, I don't know if it's like this, if you guys have any of this where you live, but there's like a regional music scene that is like Southern Ontario and Western New York. There's a band called the Tragically Hip. I don't know if you guys ever heard them, but they are huge in Canada and Buffalo. And then like everywhere else, nobody even knows who they are. My brother-in-law would when he was in college, he followed the Tragically Hip when they were on tour. And he said I know they did. They played in Buffalo at our hockey arena that seats like whatever, 20 or 30,000 people. They sold it out 2 nights in a row. And then the next week they were in Arizona, and he said they were playing in a high school auditorium. And he was literally standing next to Gordy, like 10 feet away. And just 6 days later, this guy was center stage in an arena full of 20,000 fans. But it's funny how it's like regional. I don't know if you guys have that. I'll stop smacking my desk and shaking the camera here. When Max points at the canvas, dude. And other guys have done that. There have been other fighters who try to do the Max Holloway point at the canvas, but they don't ever go to war like Max goes to war. Like, Max was completely vulnerable for those 10 seconds. If Justin Gaethje would have landed, it was all fight long. It was Max Holloway throwing uppercuts, and Justin Gaethje throwing hooks. And in this exchange, it was the other way around. It was Max Holloway throwing a hook, Justin Gaethje throwing the uppercut, and that hook got there first. But if Justin Gaethje would have landed first, it would have been over. Like, that's what's so bad about Max, is like he didn't fake it. He didn't point to the canvas as like some, like just trying to put on a show or a facade or whatever. He really gave Justin a shot. Brandy got Eric some strawberry cake, but then also got some white and chocolate cupcakes. Aw, that's sweet. For my birthday, it was just my birthday, April 9th. And I really like cheesecake because I'm a fat boy. And I like baklava. And my wife found baklava cheesecake. Holy fuck, dude. It was stupid good. Is that his favorite, Brandy? Mexican? I actually had authentic Mexican food for the first time like 2 weeks ago. And it was pretty bomb. Western Mass, I heard of the Tragically Hip from the show Letterkenny, I think. Yeah. Yeah, they're I'm sure. I know Letterkenny has a lot of, I mean, they've been on SNL. They got like pretty big. But they have like if you want to Spotify some Tragically Hip, check out New Orleans is Sinking. That's like a badass song. But they just have or Wheat Kings, New Orleans is Sinking, Wheat Kings, 38 Years Old is another awesome song. But yeah, dude, fucking the Tragically Hip is the shit. It's actually like the only band my wife and I both really like. And I was going to propose to her at a Tragically Hip show. I had the ring in my pocket and everything, but then it got all crazy and I didn't end up doing it. But yeah, the Hip are awesome. Sadly, the front man, Gordy, died a few years back of a brain tumor, I believe. Great question. Let's Western Mass said, what moment is as iconic as the end of the Max versus Justin fight? I would have to say as iconic right now, Conor versus Aldo, that knockout. I mean, Conor McGregor against the King of Rio, the king of the featherweights, after talking all that shit. I mean, all that shit. They went on a world tour of shit talking. Conor McGregor had the weight of the world on his shoulders when they stepped into that ring. And Jose Aldo was the motherfucker of motherfuckers. Like, he wasn't no bitch. Conor McGregor was stepping in there with a bad dude and just laces him up in 13 seconds. I actually bought that pay-per-view. And that was like, well, I shouldn't say right when I started it's like, I was already into it, like super heavy, but that's like before I had, I knew how to like stream stuff or whatever. Like if I wanted to see it, I had to buy the pay-per-view, so it was hard to watch. But I remember buying the pay-per-view and then being like, fuck, 13 seconds. I would say that Conor McGregor knocking out Max was as iconic, not more iconic. But right now, I would say that would that stands out to me as the biggest moment in the UFC, just as big as Max versus or Max knocking out Justin, I should say. Yeah, check him out, bro. Let me know what you think. I'm not a big music guy. Like, if Eric does show up here, in fact, I think he said he was working on his album right now. He is a musician. I'm not. I can't. I couldn't carry a note in a bucket, and I'm not. I really don't listen to music that much at all. At work, we listen to music while we're working, but it's usually my partner that puts it on. So, and when I'm driving and shit, it's either a podcast or a book on tape, or 90% of the time, a fucking MMA podcast. All right, let's think of another one though. Besides that, besides Connor versus Aldo, what is there another moment, single moment that's as iconic? Doesn't necessarily have to be a knockout, right? Could be a win. I mean, if you're going just knockouts, people try to say Ronda versus. In fact, Faraz Sahabi did a YouTube live, and he put a poll up, and he said he wanted to know which knockouts were like the biggest in history, and he had Ronda versus Holly Holm on there. I mean, it was a huge upset, but it wasn't like, I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say that. Ronda was a huge star. She was a huge star. So maybe that's another one. And yes, Leon knocking out Kamaru Usman. I mean, that's another one. That was another one on the list. Was Usman versus Leon, Ronda versus Holly Holm, Connor versus Aldo, and then Max and Justin. Obviously, there's going to be some recency bias, but dude, I think just all the factors that went into it too, the fact that Max was winning and didn't have to do that, the fact that it was in a 10-second brawl where they were just swinging at each other, the fact that there was only 1 second left in the fight when Justin's face hit the mat, it was just same thing with that Leon Usman fight though. I mean, the fact that Leon was pretty much, he was going to lose the fight. The speech that his cornerman gave him going into the round, and then John Anik with the, and that is not the cloth from which he is cut, and boom, lands that head kick. Brandy said Eric should show up. If not, I'm here. That's right. Brandy's here. That's all that matters. But no, hopefully Eric will be here soon. I think, like I said, I just talked to him a few minutes ago. I think he said he's working on his album. Strickland domination Izzy was a crazy one as well. Yeah, that was crazy for us hardcore fans. Like if you really know what the hell's going on, the history of Israel Adesanya and the fact that he's a super dominant striker. And then here comes Sean Strickland, who's like, this like white, unapologetic white dude who is politically incorrect. And Izzy is kind of like, he wears pearl necklaces and paints his fingernails and shit. That was a good one. But if you don't know, you know what I mean? To the casual, they're like, you try to explain to them, no, really, Adesanya was this amazing striker. Nobody, and then they'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever. You don't have to explain shit to them. You just got to show them this Max Holloway knockout. You just got to show them the Conor McGregor knockout. You might have to explain a little bit with the Conor McGregor one and the build up to it, Headshot Ted, baby. That's a good one. I was thinking about getting this where Ross Bain does these paintings, is the name of the artist. He's in England. And they're actually oil paintings. And then he gives the original to whoever he makes the painting of, and then keeps, makes prints. But there's one of Usman and Leon when they're getting announced for that fight, and Leon is holding his hand like a gun to Usman's head, and he did a one of those oil paintings. I was thinking about getting that one. Also, these bobbleheads are this way. The guy who makes these bobbleheads already had you know, like a digital layout of Max when he's like screaming like the picture of my having my thumbnail. He's like, if anyone knows how to get a hold of Max Holloway so he can okay this, because the guy who makes these bobbleheads, they're called MMA bobbleheads. They're not UFC bobbleheads. They're not licensed by the UFC. So the guy who makes them actually has to go to the fighter themselves and get written permission to use their likeness and all that. You think Max is number one? It was all about respect. That's a cool part of it, you know? It was just two martial artists going to war, and then Max gave him. I think the reason that Max does that is because if he was in that situation, I think he would want the other guy to do that. You, you know what I mean? Like if Justin Gaethje was just piecing Max up the whole fight, I think Max would want the opportunity to stand in the center of the octagon and just throw down for 10 seconds, you know? So he gives that respect to Justin. Brandy said, I like bobbleheads. I'm cool. I'm not a big collector of things. There was actually shit, maybe 5, 6 years ago now, my parents' home, the house I pretty much grew up in since I was 12 anyway, was struck by lightning and burned to the ground. And I live like 15 minutes at most from my parents' house. And when my mom was still alive at the time, when she called me, I mean, I hung up the phone and I was there in 15 minutes at the most. Like I was flew there. And when she called me, she was still inside the house in her bedroom and just seeing that there were flames on the house. And by the time I got there, it was completely engulfed. It was a absolute inferno in like less than 15 minutes. I say all that to say I don't like really collect shit like stuff, material things. Like I'm not big into like my dad used to collect all sorts of stuff actually. He collected all kinds of things. And it just all that stuff is just gone. But I do like bobbleheads and these MMA bobbleheads, they're kind of they're really cool. I'll show you one. This one might be my favorite. My camera's all messed up now because of the lighting. It'll auto adjust, but that's Dan Henderson, and I know it's grainy. Eric's gonna yell at me, but um, like the detail on it, and then it has their name on there, and then some of them are numbered. This one isn't, but some it'll say like 27 of 100 and whatever, but they're not cheap either. In fact, I think they're like 80 bucks a piece or something like that. And there's there's a few I don't have. There's like Joanna Joan Jacek is one. I don't know. I really don't feel like paying 80 bucks for a Joanna bobblehead. Then there's like a Big John McCarthy one, but it you it's like a fucking you push a button and it says things. I don't know. I didn't like that. But I do collect these ones. And if they make that Max Holloway one, I'll be on the pre-order list. Western Mass said Max actually became my favorite fighter for that. I can't pinpoint the moment Max became my favorite fighter, but it might have been UFC 199 when he did that with Ricardo Lamas. And I want to go back and watch because I can't remember exactly what the situation was. Like if Max was up or Ricardo was up or it was like dead even, you know. But yeah, when he did that and like really went to war, I was like, dude, he's the man. You collect cups, like coffee cups or just cups? The only other thing I collect was like fucking um I really don't collect anything else. I used to collect plastic bags, put them bitches underneath my sink, but I live in New Yorkistan where everything's illegal and now plastic bags are illegal. So I don't collect those anymore. Can you believe it? Fucking plastic bags are illegal in my state. This is a super low key live chat. And this may be the first ever live chat I did where Paku wasn't in it. I don't know what time it is over in Australia, but he's usually always here. Probably because what do you call it? Is um fucking MMA experts live. If he is, that's probably why there's like 3 people in here. Because most of my demographic also watches him, and he's just way better looking and more entertaining. What kind of cups do you collect, Brandy? Like coffee cups? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like a state law. I don't travel far outside the state or far outside yeah, the state or anything, but yeah, it's a fucking law. Yeah, I'm fine with that. We've been going for 45 minutes. My wife will appreciate me coming in. But it was fun. We had a nice low key little chat. If you guys want to go head over and hit up Justin Gaethje's. You want to go hit up AJ's live feed? I am down with that. So, if nothing else, I'll be putting another video out this week. If nothing else, I'm going to keep doing these Sunday live streams. I will make them a regular thing. So, all right, boys and girls, until next time, be safe and go Bills.